Hackers, the invisible soldiers of the digital war. They can influence politics, bring down companies, and steal millions. They are unique individuals with equally unique skills. And there are darknet freelance platforms where you can hire them. For a couple $100, you can get a state-of-the-art turnkey scam tool. Today, we're heading to the darknet. You'll learn where to buy hacker services, why you shouldn't trust captchas, and how one Russian guy managed to build an empire so massive that Microsoft launched a manhunt for him. In April, a user going by the nickname Shamal created his first stealer 762. This is a specialized program that steals data from infected computers, email, account logins, and passwords, and even the security seed phrases for cryptocurrency wallets. He posted ads on XSS, a popular Russian closed darknet forum, a first foray into the scene and an attempt to stay in the shadows. Demand for his program begins to grow. The dark web needs new tools, stealers, scriptors, and trojans. Anything that can extract money from others' pockets. Shamal decides it's time to create his own hit. He releases the first version of Luma Stealer. Simple, powerful, and invisible to antivirus software. It's every criminal's dream. Shamal doesn't just code. He dreams of building his own brand. He designs a logo and even a slogan. The hacker understood that no brand is built alone. Through forums, he finds 4 assistants. A cryptographer who refines the software so it won't be caught by antivirus programs. A second developer who configured Luma to disguise it as ordinary software. An administrator who was responsible for the infrastructure, domains, servers in Russia and Asia, and mirror sites in case of a raid. There was even a frontman who handled advertising, resolved issues, and screened clients. All of them were from the CIS, but they didn't know each other's names. They communicated via Briar. This is a decentralized messenger popular on the darknet, with no servers. And just a month later, they turned Luma into a turnkey solution for criminal enterprises. It worked like a construction set. You check the boxes in the panel to specify exactly what data is needed, and if a criminal doesn't know how to infect other computers, they can provide that service for an additional fee. Cyber criminals offer packages starting at 1,000 installations in the target country. Usually, they already have malicious ad networks or botnets set up with thousands of infected computers. But Shamal was more cunning. He embedded the Luma installer code into a fake captcha. The victim visits the site, clicks on the images, and doesn't even suspect that at that very moment, a stealer is launching in the background, stealing their personal information. After the attack, all the stolen data will appear in a separate window. It can be sorted and used for hacking or sold on forums, and particularly valuable files can fetch up to $1,000. Initially, Shamal operated only on darknet forums, but over time, he delegated tasks to a group of dealers. He recruited people and promised them 20% of each sale. And sales were phenomenal. Soon, Stealer launched its own website and a network of Telegram channels. The developers released regular updates, created several bots to support customers, and launched their own marketplace for trading data. Stealer was available for purchase through 3 subscription plans, priced at $250, $500, and $1,000. The service's source code would have cost you $20,000. In just 3 years, Luma became one of cybercriminals' favorite tools. With the help of Stealer, millions of computers worldwide were infected. Hundreds of millions of dollars were stolen, and forums were literally bursting with discussions about the legendary software. But the darknet has one peculiarity. There's no room for fame here. Law enforcement isn't sleeping. They've been tracking Luma for a long time. The software itself is linked to attacks on major companies, data thefts from banks, and corporate VPN leaks. In 2024, the Scattered Spider hacking group breached the major retailer JD Sports, stealing data from 10 million customers. The trail led to a single point, straight to Shamal's servers. But this time, it's not some private analysts digging into them, but Microsoft's own digital crime unit. And when the corporation gets involved, this is no longer a local operation on forums. Lawyers, hosting providers, domain registrars, and law enforcement agencies around the world are getting involved. Operation Firewall begins. Its goal is to dismantle Luma's infrastructure. Here's how it went down. The first step was that Microsoft spent months monitoring Luma, collecting logs and analyzing domains, all in preparation for obtaining a court order and striking. The second step was that Microsoft obtained a court order, granting it the right to intercept the addresses to which Luma was sending the stolen logs. In other words, instead of the data going to the criminals, the traffic was redirected to special trap servers. And within a few days, 2,300 domains fell into the hands of the investigators. Step 3. At the same time, another team discovered a vulnerability in the security system of the hosting provider from which Shamal rented servers. With just a few clicks, all of his data was destroyed, and a "You've been captured" banner was posted on the stealer's page. The The final blow. The team seized 2 more domains used for the stealers' control panel. Microsoft shut down the company's remaining servers. Shamal and his team tried to regain access, but to no avail. Luma is in the hands of the authorities. They have at their disposal not only the entire infrastructure, but also the names and IP addresses of the clients, which Shamal always kept on hand. But despite the operation's complete success, one thing is missing: punishment. Shamal and the other members of the group are still at large. In Russia, they face no consequences. All they can do now is wait for the investigators to let their guard down. The team has partially restored the servers and moved them to backup domains. All official communication channels have been shut down. They won't be able to regain their former glory, but they've managed to lure some of their clients back. Microsoft has lost their trail. Business is slowly recovering, but the hackers had no idea that the knife in their back would ultimately be wielded not by the feds, but by their colleagues. A group of unknown individuals creates a website where the personal information, passwords, and correspondence of all 5 hackers are published. The legend they had spent so long building crumbles in an instant. Who was behind this remains unknown, most likely former employees or competitors who managed to breach their security systems. But one thing was clear: someone was unhappy with Luma's greed. This attack dealt the final blow to the styler. Soon, the group's official Telegram accounts were hijacked, cutting off their ability to contact clients. Shamal vanished from the radar. Rumor has it he left Russia. He changed his nickname and perhaps even his name. But on the darknet, nothing ever ends. Luma's code lives on as the foundation for new stylers, under different names, in other countries with different slogans. But the essence remains the same. Someone writes the code, someone pays, someone steals. And as long as there is demand, darknet freelance will live on.